be tying is what I call the drowned Midge Adult. Here again, we're going to be tying it on a curved shank hook, or 2487. We're going to have a body out of either goose or turkey biot. We have a little wing here out of zing wing. We have a little thorax of dubbing from superfine dubbing. And we have a soft hackle here. This particular one, we're going to be using some partridge, but you can use mallard or teal or just any kind of a soft hackle material. So let's give it a try. Start off with what we're going to be putting in our hook. Just like before, since it's a curved hook, I like to have the eye down just a little bit. Then we'll attach our thread, and then we'll wrap back down onto the bend a little bit. Then we're ready to tie in our body material, or our turkey biot. This particular one we'll do in brown, just to show you variations in colors here. Here again, we're going to want a nice smooth body. So as I peel it off, I have that notch to my left. So I'll tie it in tip first. Bring my thread forward. And we're going to attach our hackle pliers. And we'll just start wrapping this biot forward. If you start to wrap it forward and you find that you don't have the nice smooth body, if that's what you want, all you have to do is just take the biot off and flip it over and just start wrapping it again. That's probably about the easiest way to remember how to get a smooth body or the rib body. Just start wrapping it forward, and if you don't like what you see, take it off and flip it over and you're ready to go. Now, since our biot's tied down here, we're ready to tie in some wings. And for that, what we're going to be using is some zing wing. So we'll cut a strip of this out of here. Don't want it real wide. What I'll do is take one end of it and lay it down. And we just kind of wrap back onto it where we tied off our biot. Now we have a tip of it out here towards the back and one out over the eye. Now we're just going to take this one and fold it back over and then tie it down. Now we have both the tips towards the back. And then I'll just come in and butt my scissors up against the hook shank and then just cut. And then now I have the exact length that I want for my wing. Then I'll just come in and kind of round off the wings a little bit so you don't have that blunt cutoff area. Just like so. Now we can stand this hook up a little bit. Now we're getting ready to work on the thorax and head area. Now we're going to put on some superfine dubbing for our thorax, and to basically cover up where we tied in our wings and our biot. We'll get some of this on here. You want to make sure to leave enough room right in front behind the eye so we can tie in some hackle. Get a little more dubbing on here. Just like so. I have enough room right in here to add my hackle. For this one, what we're going to be using is some partridge. What I'm going to do is I'll select one of these. What we're going to do is take and stroke all the fibers to the front. Now they're all kind of gathered here. And I'm going to come up and on the side towards me, I'm going to measure the length that I want. And it's usually to about right over the hook barb. And I'm going to pinch it along the hook shank. And I'm going to take my thread, I'm going to come over the top You want tension on the thread. You don't want to have any looseness in it. You just kind of push the feather over. And once you get on to the other side, keep your thumb against the hook shank. Let go with your index finger. Re-grab it. And just kind of roll back on around and then cinch down. And basically what you're doing is spinning the hackle or folding the hackle right around the hook shank. And the whole key to doing this is the amount of thread tension that you use. Now we'll just build up a head here and trim off a little bit of that excess. Build up a little head, and we're ready to whip finish it off. Come in here, just like so. Now since we have this center stem in here, we'll just pop that right off of there, and there we have it. A drowned Midge Adult. By using this technique for the soft hackle, I mean, you can tie, this is on a size 12 hook, but you can tie this thing down to 20, 22s, or 24s. And you can be using anything from grouse to mallard to guinea, just about any type of feather you can think of. It's really a neat little technique to learn. Now the reason for tying a fly like this, a drowned Midge Adult, is you ever been out on the river and, you know, fishing through the day you might have to do some nymph fishing and you caught a fish behind a boulder or something. But you know darn well there's another one in there. And you're wondering what the fish are taking because there's midges all over the water. I mean, there's been countless times my buddy Mike and I have been fishing, and what we'll end up doing is just taking an adult pattern, like a CDC comparadun or something, just put a little bit of split shot on it and sink it. And just fish it like you do a nymph. Because a lot of times what'll happen as you go from a slick, when the adults emerge there and then get into the rapids, they'll twist and tumble and get tossed underneath the current, and that's where the fish are actually feeding on them, and that's when a pattern like this works real well.